Okay.
All right. Hello, Nicholas Bittner. I am the chairperson of the City of Athens Board of Housing Appeals. We've got a quorum here with 2 other members in attendance, as well as Christine from City Council, our sort of liaison. Does a fabulous job of that, so appreciate it. We don't have any cases on the agenda today. However, we do have a new member. If the new member would be so willing to state their name for the record, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, I'm Trevelia Ford Ahmed, better known as T, the golf T. Okay, and I'm happy to join you all this morning. I am the communication media chair for the Mount Zion Preservation Society. And we're a group that's trying to revitalize and rehabilitate that iconic 120-plus-year-old structure on the corner of Congress and Carpenter Street.
Right. Well, thank you for volunteering your time to this board. We are happy to have you as a new member. As chairperson, I do want to ask that we basically consider assigning a couple other positions on the board. So we're since we last met, we've lost our vice chair and as well as our secretary. It would probably be good to, at the very least, get a secretary in place so that minutes could be taken properly, but I'll cover duties here today. So I don't know if either of you, Nick or T, are interested in those positions, or it's probably best that we kind of open it up, at least from an email perspective, to the other board members to see if they're interested as well. And then we could meet again. Does that seem reasonable? We'll kind of open it up to discussion.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
So we'll do it that way. Just we do have quorum. If any of you do have an interest and just say, hey, you know, let's do it. Please don't hesitate. I don't think anybody's going to get too upset. So in the past, we have not. Actually, I've been a member of the board now, I'd say probably going on 2 years. We've not had a case in that time. So before we had kind of reassembled, there wasn't a board for this purpose for some time in the city, though it was part of the code as a requirement. So, you know, I think the idea is that we do need to have membership and ready so that when a case does come up, we're able to sit down and hear that. So it's not to say there isn't a need. It just probably isn't going to be a considerable amount of your time. I think we've met about, on average once a year, just to make sure everything's fresh. So.
Mm-hmm. And Nicholas, yes, that's absolutely right. That from the city perspective, I really appreciate your being willing to serve on it. And it's like I don't know, do they have an old ad, the refrigerator repairman, the lonely refrigerator repairman? So it's like, but what's critical then is that you're being willing to serve means that if we do have something coming before the board, then we're ready. We've got the regulations. And a way to have a hearing and proceed with it. And so that's very much appreciated. And yeah, because then people have also given you all have given it some thought and said, yes, we're willing to serve if if a case comes up. So thanks again.
Now, one thing we will confirm is, from the sunshine laws standpoint, we want to make sure things are out in the open. We'll figure out if we can do, kind of a vote by email, or if we need to go ahead and set up another one of these Zoom meetings or in person or something to do that vote. But we'll kind of at least see who's interested from a nomination standpoint. I assume it will be, probably not too competitive, but so we can get somebody in each position.
Sure. And I can check with Lisa. you may need to have a Zoom meeting with a quorum to go
Okay.
ahead and finalize that. But if you would, and I can take care of the notes today, but
Well,
if
thank
you,
you.
and maybe I'll send them to you, and then maybe that could be if you could send them out then and say, you know, we need a chair, a vice chair and a secretary, that would be great. Because I think it would mean more coming from you as chair than me. So.
Mhm. Well, let me ask, did I receive or have I missed some kind of orientation booklet, or does such exist?
There does exist some, and Christina, I've actually got a couple spare ones from members that didn't really end up kind of following through the last time. That I could get over to T if you guys don't have one handy.
Okay, I'd appreciate that.
I sent the section of code to UT a
You
few
did,
months
okay.
ago. Yeah, so I
All
can,
right, that's what I was wondering.
but
Okay,
I'll forward that to you again. And then Nicholas, if you could send that over to T, that would be great.
okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, our understanding is it's typically if a renter has an issue with you know, a landlord is kind of the biggest purpose of, you know, almost as a adjudication board in a way to understand what is the requirement. So I think, you know, again,
Okay,
and had a case and we almost could probably do a mock hearing or something, and just as a practice one for the group as well. So it's not so foreign when it does happen.
Mhm, mhm.
All right.
And Lindsay, welcome. Good morning.
Oh,
Morning.
Thank you for being here.
Sure, I just got the link.
Okay.
yeah, it kind of got buried in my email too there. So lucky on that.
Okay.
Lindsay, we were just kind of going over, we don't have any cases here today. This is more kind of a check-in with the board from an annual perspective. We are going to be putting out kind of an inquiry for anybody that might be interested, the board members for a couple positions on the board, one being vice chair and the other being the secretary. And then we'll kind of probably discern if we just need to meet again to do that vote. Again, no cases right now. Okay. Any kind of general discussion I'll kind of open it up to.
I did have one question, Nicholas, just in reading through what's on it listed in code. I think it says that you shall, that you can determine how a hearing would be, how it would be held and how it goes. And and I just wondered if we've got that documented anywhere.
I think we did. I'll have to follow up. I know we, you know, I said 2 years. I think it's actually been probably 18 or 19 that I started. I think it's the whole COVID era that you can't really place time anymore. When we initially got together, and I know Nick, you were involved as well at that time, we kind of determined like, what's the kind of cadence for these things? Like how long would the meetings, you know, each participant have to kind of make their case? And I think we had limited it to like something like 15 minutes or something initially.
Something like that.
Okay, so you do
So I
have
have to
that
pull that
documented.
record.
Okay, because it says you'll establish your own procedures. Yeah, okay. And that we've got to file that with the clerk. I didn't check with Debbie to see if she has it on file. I'll
Okay.
double check with her and see if we've got it so we can make sure our records are up to date.
Okay, yeah, and if we can't, you know, we can kind of reevaluate. They seem to recall us doing that, you know, and then it'd be a case by case where we all kind of, you know, vote to say you could extend the, you know, this discussion or session or something.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. But yeah, I was joking here at the beginning, Lindsay, of like we should either try to advertise for ourselves or something. I think, you know, because I think what would tend to be what would happen is someone would come to the city with a complaint, and the complaint would kind of get channeled then to our board. But you know, whether everybody's has a pretty good relationship, I guess, you know, it's not a bad thing necessarily, but nothing's come through in my time on the board, at least.
Mhm.
Other discussion items, that was a good one out there. I know T mentioned kind of an orientation. I think maybe that way what we'll do is that when we come back for our vote, we could kind of go over what the you know, expectations are for the board members as well for over the course of a year. If there's no cases, the intent really is we just at least meet annually to make sure we've got, you know, everybody in a position, and, you know, especially if we have new members, that we can kind of orient them on the expectations, but not a whole lot right now.
May I ask, who is the young woman that just joined us a few minutes ago?
Lindsay Swank. What am I? I'm a
And alternate, yep, an alternate member, yep. And
Okay.
thank you very much for serving. And you're a near, if I'm not divulging too much personal information, I think you're both Near East, both you and T, the new member, yeah, are near Far East Side neighbors, yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
Oh.
All right. And I didn't get your name, honey.
Lindsay. Lindsay.
Lindsay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
You know, we make it easy up here, Nick and I, so.
Okay.
And then we had it's just Patrick and Brian that aren't here, right? Christine, I don't think we're missing any other members.
Yeah,
That's
this one, I think
correct.
that's true. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Mary Abel, I'm sorry.
Oh, Mary's an alternate as well. I thought
Yeah, Mary Abel's
she was
another
moving up to a permanent.
She did, she moved
Okay.
up to a permanent, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, Mary was not here, yeah. Okay.
If we meet again, does this time of day, it seems work for these members? We'll try to sort it out, make sure we can get Patrick and Mary and Brian all on board too. So be nice if
Okay.
us, at least for this purpose. Okay, so I will work with Christine kind of as our next steps here on distributing minutes to you know, our brief meeting here today. We'll kind of set up these nomination process, as well as make sure everybody's kind of oriented kind of as our purpose of our next meeting. And then that may be it for 12 months. So try to
Okay.
cover a lot of ground.
All right. Well, thank you all for being willing to get together, and good to see your faces. And
Always nice.
look forward to a follow-up meeting then. Thanks.
All right, meeting adjourned. Have a nice day, everyone.